And which means the prosecutor go first, which is this guy. Then ASAP Rocky lawyers has a chance to cross-examine, and if needed, there could be a redirect, which means that the prosecutor could speak to the witness again. So this is what's happening here, and this is probably to answer some of the questions that Rocky's lawyers now brought up, because he's basically made this guy look like an idiot, or him and his team, to say how y'all can't find bullets, but y'all putting bullets in evidence. It's kind of low.
The DAs
on this case, is that something that customarily happens prior to your testifying?
Yes, it is in every case.
And this incident specifically happened approximately just over 3 years ago, correct?
Correct, yeah.
When you first received a subpoena related to this case, did you immediately know what incident you were even called to testify about?
Absolutely not, no.
Was it of assistance to you in refreshing your memory to be directed to your body-worn video from this specific incident?
Absolutely, yes.
In his questioning on Friday and also today, Mr. Tacopina asked you questions about searching for shell casings, I believe is how he phrased them. Are you familiar with the term shells, casings, cartridge cases, things like that?
Yes, sir.
So he's going to give us the explanation.
Your personal background, training, and experience as it relates to firearms?
Well, I have the training I received from the Los Angeles Police Department. I've also attended various trainings outside on my own time related to firearms training, different weapon systems, marksmanship, mostly related, that sort of thing.
In the course of that training that you're talking about, have you, can you even estimate how many rounds of ammunition you fired?
I cannot.
That's a lot.
Right.
Okay.
Over the years, yes.
Are you familiar with, just in general, with handguns, the difference between a revolver and a semi-automatic pistol?
I am, yes.
Now, the reason why the DA is asking, or the deputy DA is asking this question, is Rocky's defense of it's a starter pistol, that's a revolver. What would be seen on camera, and also if they want to believe these shell casings, would mean it couldn't have been a revolver. That's a very important detail.
Every ounce of power out of them.
With this, the case could be over right now, because if they're saying it was this type of gun, but via camera
models
and
like
via the police and the shell casings, they're saying we're confident it's another type of gun that is easily
or the hardware to build this
and
technology.
Anybody who either law enforcement or has any type of dealings with weapons should know that would mean Rocky's lying and he's going to jail, right? Now, obviously, it's a lot more complex than that, but this is why this is one of the first things that the prosecutor's trying to hammer home. His defense about not having a gun, he's lying. Then they're going to go to injuries. Then they're going to bring physicians, this and third. They're going to go to ballistics report. Then they're going to go to witnesses. They're probably going to break after witnesses. Then Rocky's going to come back with witnesses only, right? Well, actually, no, probably with some ballistic people as well, just because ballistic people and also evidence experts to talk about chain of custody. That's how I think this whole case is going to go, right? And after that point, we would see what the fuck. After that point, we will see a verdict, if you ask me. So if I had to break down this case, they're going with how this investigation was done. This is a state's case. So the state goes first, then the defense. Yo, here's the video. We're going to have the police who showed up give additional video from the body cams, talk about their investigative process, who they interviewed, who called, how did they try to look for evidence, what happened next, and then they're going to go into, okay, did anyone get hurt? Okay, did they go to the hospital? All that happening. Okay, ballistic report, because now it's going to be admitted. Then witnesses, right? All right.
We're talking about the hole from a 9mm.
Okay, so here we go.
It was shattered.
It's easy to see the impact. off of hoods. These are things that I'm just recalling from recent.
What are the types of damage that you would look for on a car, specifically related to a shooting call?
Sure. So flat tires, glass that's
So these are the things they were looking for when they showed up.
been spiderweb, right, or totally blown out. Impacts to sides of doors or ricochets off of hoods. These are things that I'm just recalling from recent observations. Those sorts of observations.
Are some of those observations easier to see than others?
Yes, absolutely.
Can you describe that for the jury?
Well, I think the best way to illustrate that is you have a white four-door vehicle. It's easy to see the impact where the paint is missing and the metal is bent and distorted. And whereas if you have a vehicle with a darker colored paint job, you might miss it, right? You might not see it. It might blend in.
But also, even more generally, if a window is shattered, you're going to see a large shatter in that window, potentially.
Right, it's hard to miss.
And if a tire is flat, that's easier to see too, correct?
Yes, it is.
Versus, and I want you to assume for purposes of this that we're talking about the hole from a 9mm chambered round. If you observe,
You're having a hard time hearing him?
hole in either plastic or metal of a car from a 9mm round, that would be a lot smaller, correct?
Comparatively speaking to other larger rounds, yes.
And even comparatively speaking to if the 9mm hit glass or a tire, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Trajectory and struck the ground, would you expect the round would either ricochet up into the bottom of the car or potentially...
I'm trying to see where they're going with this. They're asking them about bullets hitting objects and ricocheting. And, obviously part of their investigation was trying to see if anything got hit, right? If multiple shots got fired, where would they get fired from?
Fragment into, okay. And scene, familiar with the condition of any of those cars before you responded?
No, we weren't.
So you don't know if any of those cars already had any damage on them, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay, it was a quick redirect. Rocky's in court. Again, maybe I just watch a little bit too much court TV. Demeanor is always one thing in court. Rocky seems. You tell me how you think he looks. During the first day of trial, he kind of looked a little pissed off. Like he was maybe not only pissed off, he seemed pissed off that he had to even be there. You get what I mean? Now, that is a thing when you're going through trial. Like, if they feel like you're not taking it serious, maybe some of the arrogance or whatever is coming out, they might want to believe. Again, you got to imagine these are people, and they're hearing stories from two sides, and you're being judged. Obviously, he's not going to be up in there cheesing, but, I think the reason why they keep showing him a bunch is to show his demeanor. Now, there's many ways to show demeanor, right? Like, for example, in the X case, when we saw the guys who allegedly killed X, them niggas look like, them niggas is up in there basically throwing up gang signs like, nigga, I'm going to see how nigga next time, man. Like, they were doing all type of shit. With the YNW Melly, like, he always looked kind of like, he looked focused. That he put the glasses on, but he would look a little, happy when he saw his family, which is normal. I wonder if this plays any part into it. His lawyer does look pretty serious. His lawyer looked like he would defend somebody on a mob. Okay. All right. Now, chat, what do y'all think about this again? 180 days, he turned down. He said, give me 24, give me nothing. And 24 meaning 24 years. So he is risking 24 years in jail.
Yeah,
right? Now, honestly, he wouldn't get 24. They're going to run a bunch of those charges, those charges and the sentences concurrent. He's probably facing about what Tory Lanez face, honestly. You get what I'm saying? There's a gun enhancement, I believe. There is no domestic violence when it comes to this, but because of the assault, it'll be around like 8 years, like 7, 8 years. You would get a little bit less than Tory because there was some enhancement with Tory that shot his shit up, but he would be getting some significant time. Now, I've seen some people in the chat say, yo, he's stupid for that. And some people say, because you know what his reason was? Or not his, well, we didn't hear it directly from him. Sources allegedly close to him say that if he took the 180 days, it would affect or ruin his career. Now, some people are thinking that means, I don't know if there's Paris Fashion Week coming up. They're like, yo, my boy, you tell me you can't miss a Paris Fashion Week? I don't think that's what it is. Actually, I really don't know what it is. Because if it was like some domestic violence shit, like with certain shit, you got to fight, right? Because it's not even about your sentence. It's them saying that you did something to a woman or to whatever. But when it comes to this, it's like, you shot a nigga. I ain't gonna lie. How hip-hop could you get, if you ask me? You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Again, obviously not shooting your friends or whatever, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Let's continue. And we're gonna get the first eyewitness or someone who called the cops. They're gonna get up on stage afterwards, or not stage. They're gonna get up on a stand. Here we go. You get to observe his demeanor here. By the way, counsel for Rocky, and then you get the deputy DA. Don't know her name, but this isn't the same DA from Tory's case. By the way, this is still Los Angeles County, so it's the same office that's prosecuting both cases. Obviously, one case, you have a very famous female star and her record label pressuring you to put the weight of the criminal justice system on this person. Here, you know, obviously, you know, number one, Biden isn't in office anymore. That does matter, right? Trump is in office. I'll tell you why I believe it matters. Is that the mandates and how they prosecute some of these crimes either become a little bit less strict or more strict. Now, obviously, it does matter usually with the DA because, like, Fonnie Willis is going to be Fonnie Willis. But Fonnie Willis would get more aggressive with RICOs depending on who the governor and who the president is, right? So we'll see how much the DA wants Rocky in jail. I suspect not as much, even though we're not analyzing the case. We're just thinking about how hard of a dick y'all got for this person. You get what I'm saying? Pause. And the mere fact y'all offered him 180 days, but subsequently he could get 24 years, means y'all just want to get some vindication for the charges, not necessarily put him in jail for shooting somebody. You get what I'm saying? Because y'all were down to give him like 6 months, right? And also, here's the thing. Maybe the YSL situation comes into play. When sweetheart deals are being offered, like, you know, even when people think about Thug, they're like, yo, if you could have walked out of jail, maybe that's the biggest hint that, nigga, we're going to beat these niggas' ass if we continue